Hey crafters, so I have a pretty cool video for you today. We're actually going to be working on some colored acrylic panels, and they're kind of like a fake stained glass, I guess you could say. And they're going to be going into a local Sunday school, and while I wanted the look of stained glass, obviously I didn't want the breakability of actual glass, so that's why we went with these. And I'll kind of go through all the tools I used, how I hung them, and then at the end we'll hang them, and then you could see some kind of final shots. So let's get started. Well, when I first got the panels, we went ahead and unboxed them in the dining room, and so that's why I don't have like a better camera set up for you. But these panels are from Canal Plastic in New York. Really cool company. They have a website, and the panels, you can pick all these different colors. I chose kind of colors in the theme, and I had them add the 2 holes to the top of each panel, and they actually delivered them with like a backer on the top and the bottom, so there were no scratches or anything. They were just perfect condition when they arrived. Alright, back in the craft studio, I chose this fishing line specifically because it wasn't stretchy. Like, this is actual fishing line, and it worked really well for this project. This is one I just had on hand, but I did link all the tools and supplies I'm using in the description box. And these are actually for fishing. They're crimping sleeves, and then it came with the tool, and that's also linked, and you're gonna see how we use them in a second. But this is so cool and kind of more modern than just like tying a bunch of knots in your fishing line. And then here I'm just showing you that I cut a piece of fishing line. So yeah, do that. You're gonna need 2 of them, probably the same length. So I looped that through the hole, which again, Canal Plastics, I told them I wanted the holes like 1/2 inch from the top, 1 inch from the sides, and they drilled them for me. They're so good. And I told them I wanted like a 1/4 inch hole drilled. This is the metal crimping piece, and I'm just sliding it over the wire here. And then I am using this crimping tool that came with the sleeves, and it's very easy. You don't need a lot of pressure at all. And then you just kind of crimp over the metal, and you'll see I kind of give it a little wiggle to make sure it's on there well and nothing's gonna move. Yeah, so simple. And I think that's such a cool modern look, as opposed to, again, like a big old knot in my fishing wire. And all of this work I was doing was just prepping them so that when we carried them to the actual site, it would be less work. Like, once we got there, I was kind of just getting them ready to go. And you'll see that I have a whole pile over there of ones that are already done. And I ordered 31 panels in total to go over like 3 kind of sets of windows. And then here I wanted some holographic panels. However, the holographic panels on Canal Plastics, while they are gorgeous, and if you're only getting a few, are not bad priced, they were a little out of my budget for this project, and so I ordered the clear panels, and then I ordered this holographic film from Amazon, and it worked so well, and I will link that as well for you in case you're interested. It's a little hard to see since it's a clear panel, but I am holding down the panel, and then I'm using a sharp X-Acto knife, this is actually a new one, to trace right next to the panel across that film and get a real tight trim on it. This was my first time ever using like a window film for anything, so I had to order a kit for it, and this one was so cheap on Amazon, again linked, and it came with like a little spray bottle, a little squeegee, which I ended up using, and like a nice little X-Acto knife, so I really like that. When you are doing any type of window film, it is so important to use like a soapy water mix to adhere the film. It helps so much. And, well, obviously you want your panels to be clean, and then spray that entire thing down with so much soapy water. Like, you might think this is too much, but no, add more. And then I struggled with getting the film off, of course, finally got that. And then once you put the film on your actual window or panel in this situation, you want to add more soapy water to smooth it all out, and you'll see that here. So here are all the panels. They're prepped and we brought them to the location. My husband's in the background there actually hanging the curtain rods that we're going to install these on. And look at all those gorgeous panels. So this is set up kind of how I want them to hang. And there's 5 different colors, light green, dark green, light blue, dark blue, and then a holographic one, which we made. So I was taking each one of the prepped fishing lines that we worked on together and hooking it around the curtain rod. It's my dog snoring in the background. And then clamping them in the hopes that when I put the curtain rod, they would hang a little straight. But that's not what happened. So I learned my lesson after this first one went up. I only pre-installed one of the 2 fishing lines, and then I did the second one while it was already hanging up there. And that was just to make sure they were hanging horizontal and not slightly crooked. And you can kind of see that a little bit on this first set. Some of them are a little crooked, so I went back and fixed those. After some slight alterations to those crooked panels, these window panels are all hung and the project is done and they are looking gorgeous. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you stay tuned for the next big project we're working on. See you next time. Bye.